The day I asked for a divorce, I slapped the evidence of my husband's 10-year affair with his business partner on the table. Evan stared at the file, his face a mask of shock. So you knew? 10 years ago, you already knew about Zoe and me? Yes. A long silence stretched between us. Then why now? He finally asked. Why wait until now to divorce me? Because I no longer have to endure it. Our daughter's final exams were over. I was done pretending. I ignored the swirling confusion and shock in Evan's eyes, pushing the divorce agreement across the table toward him. The company shares in your name, we split them 50-50. Everything else, all other assets, comes to me. Evan's eyes scanned the document, his brow lowering with each line. He slammed the papers down. Impossible, he roared. How is that any different from leaving me with nothing? I will not agree to this divorce. He leaned forward, his voice rising. And besides, you've been a housewife all these years. You haven't touched the business. I was the one out there, grinding, closing deals, drinking until I was sick to build this company. What right do you have to have the shares? I didn't get angry. I simply leaned back in my chair, crossing my arms, my tone as casual as if I were discussing the weather. Fine, let's take it to court. But I should remind you, I continued, with the evidence I have, I can easily file for an asset freeze. All our marital property will be locked down, including your shares. And while we're at it, I can also sue Zoe to claw back every penny of our marital funds you spent on her over the years. If I freeze her assets, that will certainly include her shares in the company. I let that sink in. The company is about to go public. With the shares of the two largest stakeholders frozen simultaneously, you can forget the IPO. The entire company's operations will be paralyzed. Evan's hand, resting on the table, clenched into a tight fist, the veins bulging on his forearm. He spoke through gritted teeth. So you planned this. You deliberately chose this exact moment to bring this up. I held his gaze, my expression unreadable. Do you remember what yesterday was? He looked utterly lost, his eyes blank. Yesterday, I prompted, was the last day of Chloe's final exams. Watching his eyes widen in dawning horror, a bitter laugh escaped my lips. He'd forgotten. Of course, he had. How many important dates had he forgotten over the years? My birthday, our anniversary, and now, he had forgotten the single most important milestone in his daughter's life. I closed my eyes and let out a long, slow breath. When I opened them again, they were clear. Our daughter has graduated. Divorcing now won't affect her anymore. Under Evan's stunned gaze, I slid the agreement back in front of him. 50-50 on the shares. You have two options. 1, you transfer the equity to me, which will require a shareholder vote. Or 2, you buy me out. He exploded. Are you insane? You're taking everything else. Where am I supposed to get the money to buy you out? I shrugged. Then give me the shares, or we go to court. Your choice. You. He was seething, a vein throbbing in his temple, but my face remained a mask of cool indifference. He finally choked out his decision through clenched teeth. Fine, I'll buy you out. It was just as I'd expected. The IPO was everything to him. If we divorced and I took half the shares, his control over the company he'd built would be threatened. After all this work, he would never allow that to happen. He scrawled his name on the signature line, then threw the document at me before storming toward the door. He yanked it open, only to find Chloe standing there. She froze, clearly startled. My heart leaped into my throat. My plan had been to finalize the divorce and then gently break the news to her. I had waited until she was out celebrating with her friends to have this confrontation with Evan. I never thought she'd be home so soon. What should I do? How much had she heard? Chloe, I started, stepping toward her. But her eyes, red-rimmed and furious, were fixed on her father. Is it true, Dad? She demanded, her voice trembling. What Mom said. Have you been with another woman for the last 10 years? Evan's mouth opened and closed, but no words came out. He just lowered his head in silence. Chloe's eyes welled with tears. She bit her lip, turned, and ran. Chloe,